When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's Living Green. Join Live Green Tennessee tonight as we check out the guide to all things local in the Memphis area with Edible Memphis magazine. Plus, we learn just what goes into making naked salsa, and we'll take a look at one small entrepreneur's attempt at making the East Nashville area a little more green. All of this right here, coming up next on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by
the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This summer, there's fresh, local food grown by a farmer you know at Tennessee farms and farmers markets near you. There's fun there too, with berries to pick, animals to pet, games to play, fish to catch, and color you can bring home to last all summer long. This summer, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
And by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Southern Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education, connecting the grower to the buyer, the country to the city, and smart shopping with a healthy lifestyle. It's Live Green Tennessee.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer, and I'm proud to be your host for Live Green Tennessee, where we bring you stories of Tennesseans who are choosing to live green. More and more consumers all across Tennessee are asking, where does my food come from? Who's operating sustainably, and which chefs are cooking with local products? In Memphis, the answers to these questions can be found in the pages of Edible Memphis. 5 years ago, Melissa and Keld Peterson came to Memphis for a bite of barbecue. They were so captivated by the Memphis food scene that they decided to make Memphis their home. Now with husband Keld and a group of talented contributors, Melissa edits and publishes Edible Memphis, an award-winning magazine which builds ties between farmers, food artisans, and the rest of the community. Let's check out Edible Memphis, brought to us by Amy Porter of WKNO.
My husband and I came here for a vacation, and we were living in Portland, Oregon. We ran a catering company there, and we came to Memphis for barbecue and just loved it. So my husband was the one who came up with the idea. I had a background in publishing and marketing. I had gone to culinary school and worked in some restaurants, and he said, why don't you do Edible Memphis? And so about a year later to the day, we came to Memphis and launched the magazine. We saw a lot of potential here. We'd been to the farmers market. There were 2 markets at the time. We just really enjoyed what was happening with the food, that there were so many places for it to go. It's been an evolving process. I don't show a lot of people our first issue anymore. I'm so proud each issue gets better and better and more content and more interesting. The writers get better, the photographers just try and outdo each other. And we've been really blessed to work with some amazing people in Memphis who get it, who support the idea of eating local and supporting local businesses. But they also get what we're trying to do with the magazine in terms of presenting a positive image of food in Memphis. There's a lot going on here.
I've had the opportunity to write and do a few other mechanical parts of the magazine as well throughout the years, but there is a great deal of enjoyment that comes from going to a farm, interviewing people, being with a photographer, catching people in candid moments, seeing kids in a learning garden, talking to a chef, experiences that we hope come across in the pages, and I think they do. But for us, it's not work. There's a great deal of enjoyment that goes along with it.
The backgrounds of all our writers are very diverse. We have some who are freelance writers. That's what they do, and they write for a number of different publications. We have, we've had some new writers that have never written professionally before, but have submitted things, and they've started careers with our little magazine. We've had kids write for us. We've had farmers write for us. I really like letting the voice of the writer come through. It's not all homogenized, and sometimes it's a little quirky. There's a lot of different voices that are coming through in the magazine.
There was an intersection of photography, which was my chosen profession, and food somewhere along the line, and now I do a lot of food photography. Melissa, when she came to town, we started talking, and I don't do a lot of writing, but I write for her because food is my main focus, it's my main interest, and she allows me to sort of do anything I want. You know, if I come up with a wacky idea about building a smoker at home or learning how to brew beer, she's almost always on board, almost. It's great that it's published, but it's so much fun to figure this stuff out and to have an excuse to get into these chefs' kitchens and pick their brains and get some of their secrets. The magazine's beautiful. I love the cardstock that's printed on. It's a sort of matte stock. Makes the pictures look really beautiful, super modern. It's got an open style, and each article in it definitely has its own feel.
I think our process is a little bit different in how we develop an article. We really search hard to find a way to cover somebody that is different, that's showing a chef outside their restaurant, what they do in their own home or as a hobby or something that they're very passionate about. A little more off the beaten path than you might see. And we actually have to work at that sometimes because there are people that I think deserve a story, and sometimes it just takes a while to find out what that right story is. And there have been a chef or two where we've worked with them and talked with them for a year or two before we went, oh, that's the story. That's what we want people to know about you. And it's the story that's not being told.
I've enjoyed the profiles of farmers probably more than anything else we've done in the magazine. I think chefs get a lot of coverage, and when because of reviews and there's a lot of outlets for stories about chefs. But the producers in our area, young producers and ones who've been here for generations, are among the most interesting people that you ever get to talk to through the magazine, because that's another big part of what this is all about, is knowing where your food comes from and making that connection back to the source of food. When people are able to learn about those farmers or ranchers, young, old, they become more connected. They become more involved. They become more aware and engaged in the process. And that's another thing that this is really all about, is just becoming engaged in the process and not being, someone who just eats the food that's put in front of them.
I have met people who initially it was just something fun to do, to go to a farmer's market or to read a label to find out where things were coming from. And now I know folks who, they won't eat meat unless it comes from a local producer. And people who have gone to learning how to cook because they want to support a market, but they're going to have to cook that food. It doesn't come necessarily all prepackaged. They're making restaurant choices based on who's doing local, who's operating sustainably. Their disposable dollars are limited, and if they're going to spend them, they're going to spend them wisely with folks who are doing things well. The chefs they see down at the markets, the chefs that we do stories on. And if you look at the fact that there were 2 markets 4 years ago, and this year I think there were 16, that there is a growing population that is supporting this type of economic development. I do think Edible Memphis has played a role in the growth here. I think of our role as part education, whether it's to people who already kind of know or people who are absolutely new to it. That has definitely been a role that we've fulfilled here through the magazine, through talking, through writing for other publications, through just being an advocate first and foremost for Memphis. We love it here. We love what goes on here, and we love the food scene here. So we are an advocate for Memphis, and then the subset of that is we are an advocate for Memphis food. I wish everybody'd come and eat their way through the town.
Salsa. It's a versatile snack we can enjoy with a margarita at our favorite Mexican restaurant, in front of the TV with a bowl of chips, and it's even a great snack for toddlers. The folks at Naked Salsa have taken our favorite snack a step further by stripping it of chemicals and additives and including only the freshest local produce available.
I'm Daryl Jennings.
And I'm Amy Jennings.
And we're with Tasteful Culinary Creations Incorporated, the parent company of Naked Salsa. We're here to talk a little bit about today how we came about salsa, why we're in the salsa business, and how we came up with the recipe and things like that. It started really as a hobby about 7 years ago, and just kind of grew from that. We love salsa, the whole family loves salsa, and just kind of toying with some recipes one day and put some things together, and it tasted really good, and just made it for friends and family for a long time. And about 3 years ago, we kind of decided to move forward a little bit more based on those same friends and family. They recommended that that we start selling this stuff, you know, on the open market.
So we came up with the name Naked Salsa, and a lot of people are very curious about why we did that. And we came up with it because it's all natural ingredients. There's no preservatives in it. There's nothing funky. When you look at the ingredient list, there's not going to be anything on it that doesn't come directly from nature. And it's amazing because the product still lasts as long as any other product that would have preservatives in it.
That's what most of our customers have said to us, is that once they start eating it, they really can't stop. You know, we get the question, well, how long will it last in the refrigerator? And minimum, it'll last a month. We've had it in our test cycles last 3 months.
We have tried to keep the produce that we're getting as local as possible, and for the most part, the peppers have been the best benefit to us. We have a lot of local growers who are growing their own peppers and then selling them to us to use in the salsa. So it feels good to know that we know where the products are coming from, we know that they're good, fresh ingredients, and we're able to put that into the product and sell it. And we are now a Pick 10 product too. So we are certified, and we are on the Pick Tennessee website.
The reason that we utilize Maddie's Place, for FDA regulations, we have to have a commercial kitchen that's checked off, that's inspected, that's certified. And in going through the process, looking for kitchens and things, she was willing to open up her kitchen and allow us to utilize it for a while, just so that we could get our product, get it made, get it certified, get it out on the shelf.
My name is Robin Branham, and I own Maddie's Place. Daryl and Amy are great salsa makers that we serve in our restaurant here, and Daryl and Amy actually do their making of their salsa here of the evening time when we're not here, and they just couldn't find a place to do it. And I looked at Daryl's face one day and I said, "You can do it here." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." So that's where we started. I just let them do it because I think that everybody just needs a great opportunity to go out and show what they have to do, you know, their business. And their salsa is awesome. Awesome. You can eat it on everything. But I just thought that it would be great for them to be able to get out and sell their product, because people need to know about it. It's really good.
But it's very simple. It's very natural. All the ingredients are very readily available, easily found, and it's just our combination. But really, we use a lot of different kinds of pepper in our salsa to give it that unique flavor. So not only do we have good peppers, of course we do use onion for those people who really love onion. One of the other staple ingredients is cilantro, and you'll eat a lot of salsa. They don't use a lot of cilantro because of the cost, but we really feel like the cost doesn't matter. It's all about the taste of the product and the quality of the product. And so all of those ingredients, along with with our special spices, we put together. We do everything in small batches. 5 gallons is our typical batch now, so that we can keep the quality, the taste, and the consistency the same, so that when you buy the product today, it's going to be the same as the product you're going to buy 2 years from now. Our recipe is refined and is ready for larger scale production when that happens, but we're really glad to make it in the small batches. As you can see, we really start out small even with the chopper blender. This is our original unit that we make our salsa with. This is our finished product. This is a 16-ounce container, our typical size. It will be available larger containers than that, especially for the restaurant industry. This is our mild product. Of course, my wonderful wife does all of our marketing and our design and everything, and so she designed the labels for us. Our next one is the medium, and it's just the kicked up cousin, as we call it, to the mild. A little more jalapeno flavor. Then we move over into habanero. And that's in our upper line. Our 7 flavors right now are mild, medium, hot. Angry Scotsman, Habanero, Amy's Blend, and Ghost. One of the best things about this is the showcase that it does for the flavor of the pepper. With the Habanero and the Angry Scotsman, you can't match that flavor in any other pepper. There's an interesting flavor ring to it. I call it a twang. At the very top of the scale of heat with our products right now is the Ghost. And you know why it's called that. It's the Jaluca pepper out of South America. Hottest pepper in the world at about 1.4 million Scoville. And our slogan for this one is, are you man enough to take on the heat of the Ghost pepper? It's really good to know that our community is there for us, not only to sell us their products, but to buy our products from us as well. And our goal over the next year is to really establish more relationships with those local farmers. And even if you're not a farmer, if you've just got a small side garden, but you're producing peppers and things like that and would be interested in that, we would love to talk to you to develop that relationship, to get your peppers in our product. And as Amy said, we'd love to either purchase those or we even barter out, whichever way you'd like to do it. But we want to use as many local products as possible.
Now customers can get Naked Salsa locally at IWC Cash and Carry. They are carrying all of the flavors of Naked Salsa, and we'll have it in stock at all times.
You know, we really want to grow the business. We want to grow it smartly. We want to grow it slow enough that it doesn't overtake us. And we want to have fun with it. We don't want it to become a job, something we don't look forward to doing. Because I think for both of us, we really enjoy making the salsa, marketing the salsa, especially with the name. You can imagine all the fun that we have with that.
What we hope is that eventually Naked Salsa will be in every grocery store nationwide. This local company will eventually grow to be something really big and something that everybody in America can enjoy. And eventually everybody in America will be getting naked.
We have featured a lot of green advocates on Live Green Tennessee, but none of them come in the form of a 7-year-old boy. When Gunnar Sweeney's father, Sean, taught him about recycling, he never dreamed that his son would take the concept and become the CEO of his own glass recycling company. Not only has Gunnar grown his company to over 100 customers in the past year and a half, but he also teaches each of us that you're never too young to start taking care of our beautiful state and living a greener lifestyle.
I like recycling because it keeps the earth healthy and keeps the environment healthy.
He's very inquisitive, very curious kid, and he got into recycling.
I want to keep recycling forever.
I mean, if I threw something away in the wrong spot, he was digging it out of the trash and bringing it back to the recycling bin.
Recycling makes me feel really good.
You know, everything is about being green, trying to save water and save electricity, and throwing things away is just, he goes completely against it.
I didn't exactly learn about it. I just saw people recycling and I wanted to do it too.
He was kind of the inspiration to the idea.
So my dad noticed I really liked recycling and he called me and told me one morning, do you want to start a recycling business? And I said yes.
I asked him if he thought it'd be fun to go hang out for an extra hour a month and take the recycling, everybody's recycling to the recycling center for him, and he was all about it. We realized that Metro doesn't pick up glass inside the city of Nashville, so that was really fun. I got to take kind of some of my learning from getting my MBA at Belmont and transition that into our house and applying it to Gunnar on a simple level.
We went out a couple weeks later and got 6 people to sign up.
We got them to sign up for $5 a month.
The 6 customers we got, they talked to their neighbors.
And we just took their glass with ours when we went to the recycling center.
The other neighbors, they just kept on talking and we got so many.
Before I knew it, we had 25 people that had signed up.
I mostly did the empty bins. My dad did the full. I could tell they're heavy. He was shaking.
And we couldn't handle the glass in the back of our SUV anymore, so Gunnar and I went out and got a trailer.
And we got a really small trailer. And
he said, "Now let's get a big trailer."
And I thought we were going to get a bigger one.
About 2 months later, we were trading in the small trailer for a big trailer.
Because we got too many customers.
And at that point, it just kind of continued to grow from there, and we're up to a little over 500 customers now. and we've got a couple employees.
And we started hiring people to help us, and so we don't have to do all the routes 6 hours a day. One of our employees is named Roderick, and he has a full-time job.
Well, I've been with Gunner's Glass Recycling now for almost a year, and we've become good friends. You know, I look at them as my surrogate family, and it's just really great to have them in my life and be a part of this recycling family, and continue to go out and help the community and stay bonded and just keep moving along and just keep growing to see what we can all do.
Turn left on Golf Street.
When the business started, the original intent was to kind of fill in Metro's void with glass recycling, and I knew if we kept the price low enough, we could get enough mass so that it made financial sense for us to go around.
We drive to the people's houses. Their bin's full. I take an empty bin, and my dad and our employees take the full bin, put it on the trailer while somebody stored it, and I take the empty bin and put the lid back on. There we go. After we picked up all of the whole route, we go to the recycling center and put the glass in the right hole. The glass is separated by color, clear, green, and brown, and then we come home and wash out the bins. They take it to the place where they crush it, melt it, then they make it into new bottles. Then they put drinks in it.
It's really nice, you know, to be able to get out, meet people, you know, and converse with them, you know, about the recycling and just, you know,
Bye.
It just seems like it's something that, you know, almost in general just makes people smile. And, you know, they're just excited, you know, they're like, that's so good, yeah, you know, and they're really excited.
You know, I think one of the things that has been fun to watch is the interaction with our customers. Gunner has claimed since day one that his favorite thing about the business is his customers. And so, you know, I say, hey buddy, you know, so-and-so is your favorite customer, right? And he says, nope, I like them all.
You know, a lot of people have actually read about Gunner in the paper or like in the Nashville scene.
Somebody found out about it at the Tennessean and wrote an article on him. And then Metro actually heard about it at the Beautification Commission, and they invited him in to speak at their board meeting. So he got to go in there. It was January of 2009. It was just a fun time to hang out with Gunner, and it's been kind of fun to watch him grow. And then for me, it's been fun to just know more people in our neighborhood and get more involved in doing a good thing for the neighborhood. And Gunner and I have transitioned out of kind of doing the operations to letting our employees do the operations, and Gunner went from, you know, being on the job to then just doing the new customers and going out and meeting people, but now he kind of has just transitioned into another role of just kind of you know, doing the community events. We know more people in our neighborhood now than we used to, and we're really excited to kind of be where we are now, and I couldn't have imagined it a year and a half ago.
One day, you know, Gunner will be completely at the helm of all this, you know, and you know, maybe Gunner's Glass Recycling will take over the whole country for all we know, you know, but
I don't really have something I don't like about owning a business. Like it all.
We hope you'll join us next time on Live Green Tennessee, when we will feature news stories and bring you more exciting news about Tennessee markets, farmers, and businesses who are making the move to eating fresh and living green possible for all of us. Right here next time on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by
the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This summer, there's fresh, local food grown by a farmer you know at Tennessee farms and farmers markets near you. There's fun there too, with berries to pick, animals to pet, games to play, fish to catch, and color you can bring home to last all summer long. This summer, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
And by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Southern Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education,